had a gallery there for a year. And one of my friends like passing by and he's like, you should create NFTs. We do limited edition print. I'm like, what is NFTs? And after that, I started seeing NFTs everywhere. So digital art, as we know, it's online, everyone can save it, etc. But then NFTs are here to give you something that cannot be copied or saved, which is ownership. Because NFTs, like, it solves a lot of problems for artists, from the proof of ownership, from royalties, to the transparency on the blockchain. No one can copy your work anymore.
Welcome to Couchonmics with Arjun. The show aims to unravel the layers of the fintech sector and the rapidly evolving tech startup ecosystem across the MENA region and beyond. I am your host, Arjun, and I will be inviting founders, executives, investors, regulators, and other influential stakeholders to discuss and dissect the highs and lows of their own ventures and how they foresee the wider ecosystem evolve. Join us as we celebrate success and the spirit of risk-taking, the candid discussion that goes past the timid question and cautious answers. This show is produced in collaboration with Adyan, a reliable end-to-end payment solution that enables businesses to turn payments into a strategic growth driver. We're also brought to you by Lulu Financial Group, a global financial services provider headquartered in Abu Dhabi and operating in 11 countries. Finally, Couchonmics with Arjun Singh is brought to you by M2P Fintech, Asia's leading payment infrastructure company that enables businesses of any scale to embed financial products. Welcome to today's episode of Couchonmics with Arjun Singh. I'm your host, Arjun, and today is a bit of a special edition, or a special episode, as I should say. I'm actually going to really stretch the beyond of the fintech and beyond of Couchonmics, where I'm actually going to take you from the world of fintech to crypto to NFTs. Now, for those of you who know me, and I guess not many of you do, I have three passions in life. One is fintech, the second is gastronomy, and the third is art. So I'm actually joined today by an NFT artist. She is actually an award-winning digital artist, and her name is Kristel Bechara. She's Lebanese, but she's been in Dubai for over a decade, or maybe 15 years. Kristel, welcome to the show.
Hi, I'm happy to be here.
Is the couch comfortable?
Very comfortable.
All right.
And the mic.
And the mic too. I'm sorry, it is. It is a little bit intimidating, but trust me, once we get into the conversation, the mic will just disappear, right?
All right.
So, Kristel, we have about 25 minutes, right? So we're going to get to the point straight away, right? Talk to me about your sort of journey in art, and where did it all start, and how did it all start?
Sure. So I've been an artistic person my whole life. Maybe I was influenced by my father, my late father. He was a surrealist artist, a sculptor himself, and he was working at home while I was growing up. It was a passion. It was something that you would always find me painting, drawing. And then growing up, it grew with me. I experimented with a lot of different mediums. At university, I majored in graphic design. It was the closest to fine art, but where you can get a career. And this is where I was thinking. I wanted a career. And I loved this major. And I mastered the softwares. I loved the digital softwares. I became super creative in front of the screen, as well as traditional paintings and drawings. Moving back, when I moved to Dubai 15 years ago, I worked as an in-house designer, and I got a lot of experience in that area. But then I always wanted to create something that is for me, that works more for me. It reflects what I feel, what I love. And this is where I quit my job and decided to become a full-time artist.
And how long ago was that?
That was 7 years ago.
7 years ago.
Almost, yeah.
Okay. That's good. So the journey so far, as you've explained, it brings me to sort of this world of digital art. When do NFTs come into your life?
Yeah, so this is a new style, the new style that became very successful, and it was like recognized as my signature style. I started creating with this style around 7 years ago, and then it started digital. My fear was I don't want to forget these softwares. I don't want to forget these beautiful softwares that I'm very creative on. And I love playing with layout, compositions, and calligraphy. So I wanted to keep this aspect. And this is how I combine my drawing skills with the use of softwares.
Okay.
And I create this signature style that became very popular organically. And I started selling from Instagram. It started digital drawings, but 6-7 years ago, I didn't have a way to sell it. It was on Instagram, and people were asking how can I buy this? And the first thing I've done is I didn't say no. I said it is for sale. I contacted the first online link I found online. It was, I'm not going to say the company who printed on canvas, and they used to have like standard sizes. Yeah, so. I grabbed the size that I have, and I printed my first artwork, and I shipped it. It wasn't for here; it was internationally as well, and it just I just grew from there, from Instagram, from printing on canvas, and then later on, when I had few time, I used to draw in the same manner and paint to see the difference between digital art and the acrylic paints,
right?
And this is how I grew my portfolio. And then within a couple of months, I had galleries ordering from me the digital ones, the digital prints. And they were selling them in Tokyo, in Osaka, in Belgium, in Nice, in London later on, Italy. So I had a higher demand for the digital ones because it takes less to create. And I used to create limited editions. So there's more potential.
And that's what I was going to ask you. So you did have limited editions.
Limited editions of the digital ones that I print on canvas for people to hang. And then I had the paintings, the ones that, the traditional paintings.
Okay.
And 18 months ago, I had a friend at my gallery in DIFC. I had a show there. I had a gallery there for a year. And one of my friends was passing by, and he's like, you should create NFTs. We do limited editions print. I'm like, what is NFTs? And after that, I started seeing NFTs everywhere.
Right.
I've done my research. I understood what this technology offers to artists, traditional artists who works with digital as well. And it was natural for me to adopt it. I started directly accepting at the end of 2020, accepting cryptocurrencies as a way of payment on my website. And although I wanted to act fast and start like creating NFTs for my previous digital art, I took my time, few months, to create a series that represent what I want to show and to represent in the NFT space and the crypto space. And this was Beauty in DeFi.
I love the word. Beauty in
DeFi. And then it was around 30 artworks. I was dropping them every week. I drop one.
And these were single.
These are unique one-of-one
pieces.
artwork. Because for me, I only transitioned my works. This is what I do. I do one artwork. I've done the same with my unique.
So you don't do the 10,000 drops.
No. Especially with NFTs, because the beauty of NFTs, it gives this scarcity and making the digital art as unique, and that one person can own it. So digital art, as we know, it's online, everyone can save it, etc. But then NFTs are here to give you something that cannot be copied or saved, which is ownership. And this is why I wanted to be one of one. I wanted to show that this is art. It's not a photo. I don't want to have editions of it. I wanted to be a one of one.
Okay.
And back then, collectors as well, they were into one of ones. The collectors who are in the crypto world and they started collecting art, they were interested in the one-of-ones. And apparently it was natural for both art creators and collectors to head for the one-of-ones. And this is
how it started. So obviously you got in, if I may say, you got in at the time when, I guess, NFTs were taking off. 2021 was crazy in terms of the level of interest in NFTs, myself included. I had no clue half the time what I was buying, why I was buying it, but I was just buying it because everybody else was saying that it's a good idea to buy it. There was very little, if I may say, be honest, method behind my madness. But there's a lot which has been written about more recently, and actually some of the celebrities have even gone as far as saying that digital art NFTs, some say 99% of the projects will actually go to zero or will fail, whatever the right word here is. So according to you, right, and this is Kristel's view, why will that 1% be any different than the other 99?
So now here we're talking about the projects. Mostly they are avatar projects, not the one-of-ones artworks, because these we consider them as art. People don't tend to resell them and flip them, let's say. So for the projects, it is like there was a bubble and everyone was trying to create their own project and selling as much as possible. But then the projects that will last, this 1% that will last, this is all about the community behind this project, the team behind the project. If they are true to, and they have a mission, they have a roadmap, and the community is very important in terms of the viability of the project. It's important to, whenever you're investing in a project, at least you need to like the art. Well, even if it's an avatar, so at least you'll end up with a beautiful art, right? Even if it's these avatars, you connect to them in a way. They have the characteristics. Maybe you like their looks, their shades. I don't know.
The apes with the cap.
Maybe you like it. So people do relate to some of these avatars. They see themselves, the reflection of them. At least what I hear. And then, so at least you need to like the art. The minimum is to like the art. So if everything goes south, you still have the art. And then you need to know the team behind it, the community behind it, and the utilities. If it's something interesting for you, if with this token you get access to, football games, so this is something for you that you'd appreciate. You would go to these events or whatever. So I feel these are the projects that will last.
No, I do tend to agree with you. I'm not going to actually get into debate. I think, one of the things I do, and I've been buying NFTs, as I said, so, although I was being a bit hard on myself by saying that there is no method behind my madness, I do tend to read on the roadmaps these NFT projects tend to offer. My only question is, and again, it's not a question to you, it's a statement, is there is no way to hold these people accountable for the roadmap that they're talking about, right?
And this is where I say that you need to know the team.
Yeah.
It's important to learn about the team, or at least be engaged in the community, so you can tell if this is a real community or it's just advertising and they bought some followers and bots, etc. But then if you know some people in the community, you know them well, you trust them, it is a safe bet to invest.
It is, yes, I would say it's a safer
project.
bet. Unfortunately, the communities that you know and the communities that you're familiar with are prohibitive in terms of some of the entry prices, right? So I was very, very keen on the whole Nike artifact, project. But the entry price was, substantive, right? I might not have gotten early enough and I wasn't on the white list or whatever lists these are. So for me, the jury is still out. I think I buy into the concept of NFTs. I think I buy into the concept of NFTs with music in a big way, right? To me, the use case is brilliant. I think on digital art, for me, the jury is still out, right? I will actually, sit by the wayside. I will participate and then go with it. So let me put you on the spot here, right? So with NFT projects, and by no means this is investment advice. I'll make it very, very clear. I don't think either one of us are, I guess, equipped to give investment advice. But if you were to pick up, 3 to 4 digital art NFT projects, beyond the ones that you've made,
Yeah.
which are the ones that you feel have the right ingredients?
So I will talk about the ones I bought in and
Please,
I
go ahead.
invested in.
I'm
I
making notes as we go.
take notes. I did invest in the artifact, in the Clonex.
Oh, you did in the Clonex?
Yes,
All
and
right.
I bought the Clonex and the whole ecosystem. But I didn't buy, although we were on the whitelist and I could have bought it for 3 ETH, but I didn't.
Okay.
I was so busy creating and I was like, I wasn't convinced this much about, I don't have time to be part of the community, etc. But then I bought it when it was expensive, but I bought it and I'm part of it. I have the
But
ecosystem.
by then the 3 Ethereums, but by then, even if the price had gone up, the Ethereum value must have plummeted by then.
Now.
No. Oh, so you
That
bought
was
it. Okay.
months ago.
All right. Okay.
So I also got the rest of the ecosystem of the Clonex. I love this project because it was tied to Murakami, and so he's an artist. Is one of my favorite artists, let's say, and contemporary, and he's still he adapted quickly to the NFT. So it's something related to me. Plus Nike Artifact, the team we have, some of the team are in our community as well. So I know them, I trust their concept, what they are looking to create in the space. And another project that I really like is called Cyber Brokers.
Cyber Brokers. That's cool.
And the artist is, she's an American artist and I like her work. The art is really nice, although the Clonex's art is really pretty as well. These cyber brokers are really, really good. Try to look them up if you
I will.
They have a nice story also. And there's missions and quests and there's like a whole world around them. So this project has a very bright future for sure. I invested in one more project that I really like. It's for James Jeans. James Jean, he's a multidisciplinary artist, and he also adopted the NFTs early on. And I have one of his art. His art is really unique. It's very inspiring for me, and I got one of his artworks.
So you're giving us 3 names here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have some others, but they are not they weren't successful. So
Okay. Well.
So let's talk about the successful one.
Yeah. So no, I think it's good. 3.
Between the rest.
So let me ask the question: among your sort of faculty of artists, your peer of artists, are you guys talking NFTs more regularly among your peer groups? Is this something in the region? Is this something which is getting sort of artists excited?
Yes, but then the traditional artists who are not familiar to digital with like creating with digital art, they are still resistant in a way because it's a new world for them. They cannot. Although explaining NFTs is a bit difficult. The terminology is difficult. The user experience is not friendly still. Everything is still in its infancy stage and it's difficult. So how about someone who is already, he has his own process and it's all freehand, let's say, and who does not work with digital? It's not easy for them. So say I would go and create an NFT for them, they would be happy. But for them to do that, it's still a struggle, and this is what I hear from my from artists around me. They are some are totally against. I don't get it because NFTs it solves a lot of problems for artists, from the proof of ownership, from royalties, the transparency on the blockchain. No one can copy your work anymore. I used to see my work in malls here in Dubai where I live, people sending me photos and selling them for 300 dirhams copies. But then
there was no way to stop it. Right?
I didn't even bother. But now if you don't own it, if there's smart contract is not on the blockchain, and you see who's the creator and the first owner and second and third, this is not the original. So you're as if you're buying something without value.
Okay, so here's a bit of advice, right? So I actually have a business I invested in, which actually represents a number of emerging artists. They're largely focused in India. That's where I'm ethnically from. And on the platform, we have over 50 artists,
Okay.
right? And the vast majority of them, I would imagine, would love the benefits that come with NFT. So from your experience, now I understand you had a greater understanding of software because your pedigree is quite different. A lot of these artists that I'm talking about, their pedigree is very dissimilar to yours. They've come through the traditional route. They went to art schools. They qualified. According to me, they're magnificent artists, right? So what's your advice to them? How do they transition from becoming traditional artists to traditional artists who can leverage the NFT?
Exactly. So what these artists need to do first, to research and learn what just NFT means for the artist. It is a license. It is a license of it's a certificate of authentication. It authenticates this work, who created it, and later on all the descriptions and details. So it's not how this art was created. It's not the medium.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of collectors coming in my studio. They love traditional paintings. They want these paintings, but they want an NFT for it instead of having a certificate on a paper.
Which is what we do. Which is what the business does, which I don't do.
Yeah, and I do that for my collectors, and preferably I would love to do it for all my work because it builds provenance, and you can track and you get royalties in case it changes hand. And it is very important for us artists. For me, I used to, archive all my sales, etc. I used to do them on Excel sheets. Now I don't have to. If it's on the blockchain, it automatically it builds the catalog resonate.
If it is a resale, you can actually collect some royalties.
You do.
As an artist, you actually have annuity of income if the art continues to exchange hands, or if the art is, in your language, staked, i.e. rented out, and so on and so forth.
Yes, and for them to understand it, they don't have to create something new from their work. It's just, think about it, a photo, a nice, good quality photo, list it as an NFT, and put all the details you want, and there you go. You have a certificate of
contract,
yes, yeah. And eventually it will become the norm. I feel it has to become the norm for any art, any valuable asset that comes with this certificate. It will be an NFT.
I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
But I guess they just need to not only educate themselves, but they also need to actually work with the right type of people.
Yeah, so some galleries are interested. They need to adopt the NFTs as well, right. And this is what they are doing, because they have a group of artists. Let's say they are resistant. They don't want to do the effort, or they don't want to read. They want to stick to what they do. So, but the galleries, they want to introduce NFTs, and some of them, they are creating the NFTs on behalf of their artists. But I don't see
enough of that.
I don't see it as beneficial for the artists.
Okay.
Because it's for the galleries.
It's for the galleries themselves rather than the
yeah.
artists. Right, let's switch gears. I had Anas and Danush on the couch a few weeks back. They've obviously created this DAO community, which is called Arts DAO. You are obviously collaborating with them, right?
Yes.
Tell us about the collaboration.
So I met Anas and Dan maybe a year ago or more, and then we had a podcast together.
Crypto Shake
podcast, yeah. And then we started, actually, they had an idea about creating the DAO, and I've done a lot of one-of-ones, and I was starting to play around the idea to create a project, an avatar project, any kind of generative art project. I wanted to experiment as well and create something new. And they were like, we want to create a team that helps artists launch their projects, etc. And then we started meeting at the studio. We've done the first meeting. We were around 10 people, as if we some people from Twitter or Instagram, they were interested in NFTs, and they were like, we're in Dubai, would like to meet. you can feel that people in the NFT space, they want this community, they want to meet in real life. And the first meetup was and the second meetup was at my studio. The first one we were 10 people, the second we were 30, and then after that we were around 100, and then more and more organically we were growing. So we started meeting and socializing at events. And this community is very large. It's the largest at the moment here in Dubai. And
That's what they were saying.
Yeah,
I'm part of that community now.
Yeah, we have a lot of collectors, a lot of investors, creators, artists, developers. So it's a self-sufficient community. So if you want something, you just drop a message on the group, and everyone tends to. It's a very supportive community. I've never been in a community like this.
Okay.
So that was 9 months ago, playing around the avatar. Let's do an avatar project. I want to create something. We have a nice community. Let's create something for this community. And then we kept playing around it until we figured something that works really nice for me and for the community. It is a way, because they want to build this DAO, which is on top of this community. And I created my first generative art series. So it is not an avatar. It is similar to my unique artworks in my signature style, but this one is generative. So from different layers and characteristics with different rarities to each of the layers, when you combine them, you get up to, let's say, we will drop 2,000 unique artwork. None of them is similar to the other. So I wanted to represent different gates, and these gates, whether they were historical or just from fantasy, from my mind, I created 9 different layers with 9 different sceneries behind it and backgrounds. And then I use in my work black and white props. And these props are all around the crypto world. For example, I drew a whale. I drew, what did I draw?
Did you draw a hodl?
A hodl in my unique artworks. I have a really nice one. So these different layers, at the moment of the mint, the algorithm and with the smart contract, they will create and combine different variation of these.
And your private mint is?
The private mint started today.
Today is the 2nd of June.
Yes.
Because we're not going to be airing this on the 2nd of June, so I just wanted to register it.
Today was our it is still our private sale.
Yeah.
And
Danush took my MetaMask address this morning. I had no clue for what, though. So now I know why.
You need to text him now. So this is for the private sales for investors or collectors who are looking to buy more than 10 NFTs, 10 tokens. So these tokens and these NFTs, except aside that they are artworks, you can have them, display them in your home, on your screens. It gives you access to this DAO. It's a membership to this DAO, the Arts DAO, that we are trying to have the largest collectors DAO. Collectors in terms of art, portfolio, growing this portfolio, and be it as diversified as possible, from projects to art one-of-ones.
So in the private listing, how many are you dropping? On the private?
The total is 2,000.
2,000.
Yeah.
But
whether it's private sale or whitelisted or public sale.
How many are you launching on the private sale?
The total is 2,000. I don't know the cap
for
the private sale.
And then the public sale is
on the 5th.
Oh, in 3 days' time.
4th then, in 2 days.
Yeah.
There's 2 days whitelist and then the public mint.
Great.
Yeah.
So, Kristel, tell me. So, lots of interesting things. You won awards. You've been in graphic design. You then did traditional art. You did digital art. You bought NFTs. You've now got into generative art. So what's next? Or actually, what else is going on? Because you were telling me that you are incredibly busy these days.
Yes.
So tell us what else is going on.
So since 2022, it turned January, I don't know what happened. A lot of projects popping around. A lot of people want to collaborate. And it's been great. It's been a great journey. although I'm busy, I'm very happy. I've always thought about my studio as a business. And
Where is your studio?
My studio is in the Onyx Towers.
Okay.
Here, just around the corner.
Oh, yeah. So, okay.
Yeah.
I know what the Onyx Tower is. Okay.
So I
So
have
you work out of your studio?
I work out of my studio. This is where I paint. I have my paintings on display as well. And I have a nice
Also, you have a
team.
gallery inside your studio?
Yes, of course, for my paintings. I have a fantastic team that helps me do what I love. Obviously, they support from the management and advertising, etc. So at the moment, I'm working on 2 solo shows coming up, and these solo shows are really special. One of them is in September, and the other in December. They are not like the traditional just paintings hanging. We are showing the experience of how you can use NFTs with traditional paintings, with limited edition prints, and then with the actual project that is just on screen that comes with experiences and utilities. It could have been, it can be me who's providing these experiences, or a brand, or someone collaborating with me. So it's a nice, this
Very interesting.
Yes, this I'm working on.
And you said you're
these
launching
two.
them in September?
So
and in
the
December.
solo show, one of them is in September to October. The second is in December to Jan.
Fascinating. I'm actually going to come across to your
Of course.
your studio. So, Kristel, there's so much more we can talk about, but unfortunately, I'm sort of restricted in terms of time. I'd like to thank you for coming in. I think this will be quite refreshing to the audience, because I think we've spoken about fintech to 29 other guests. I think this is an area where most people are still, I guess, treading carefully or dipping their toes, because I don't think people have really got the hang of what it really means.
Yes.
And I think joining some of these communities actually makes it easier for people to get to know people who are like-minded. Obviously, the UAE or Dubai is a much smaller part of the world. So actually, to be honest, we'll be interacting with people. I actually have come, I've come up the curve the hard way. So I think I've just burnt a lot of cash, right?
Yeah, if you don't experiment, this is how we learn.
Yeah.
There's no way around it.
Yeah, I kind of dived head on first. And that's kind of hurt the head a little bit. But hopefully some of these projects that I've bought,
they will pick up.
I've bought a few, will come through. I want to wish you the very best. I think it's fascinating. I'm fairly certain we will meet again, because I'm going to be a part of this Arts DAO community. And maybe I can actually invite you over to show you my art collection, which is completely traditional. There's no NFT attached to it, but I'm quite proud of it. So with that, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I'll let you have the rest of the evening to yourself and get back to your studio if that's what you're going to do. All right?
Tomorrow.
So, everybody, I want to thank you. We had Kristel in today. She is an artist who is deep in the world of NFTs right now. And I think she's given some good advice to, other artists who are exploring this journey. I couldn't agree more with her that I think NFTs are complementary, irrespective of whether you're a traditional artist or a generative artist, because I do think that artists don't sometimes get the value of what they develop, because people reuse their prints or forger their art, whatever the word is here. So I think it's highly recommended. And for any artist who will be listening into this show, and I don't think there'll be many, but there would be maybe a few, right? I would suggest that you actually reach out to Kristel. Kristel, what's your website?
My website is atelierkristel.com.
Atelierkristel.com.
Yes.
She had to slip in a bit of French in there.
Yeah. It's
Right. She's Lebanese. She can't help it. All right. So with that, I'll say goodbye. Thank you. Till the next episode.
We need to at least onboard 40 to 50 million people into the financial system of Egypt. And this is happening because of fintech like us and others, of course. In 2017, 2018, there were no online payment accepted in Egypt except
Right.
cash on delivery or cards.
Right.
So we were the first company to be the first other than cash on delivery and cards to be accepted online. And we don't want to be the buy now, pay later that sells mostly fashion products, but we do everything. We do restaurants, we do fashion, we do appliances, we do medical care, we do travel.